Hello and welcome back to our Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky 1 playthrough. In our last episode a few days ago, we investigated a rash of burglaries in the south of Bose, and they led us out to Lake Valeria, where we learned that a young girl in a school uniform and a gentleman have been seen wandering around, and we have devised a plan to catch them. Naturally, it's not the best plan, but we're going to try to do it anyway. So, let's go. Sophina asks, will you be staying here with us tonight? Estelle says, yeah, that's the plan. Joshua says, hold on, Estelle. If there's anything that we haven't taken care of, we'd better do it now. I don't want to head back to Bose after we've got a room. Estelle nods. Yeah, I guess you're right. Let's get a room. Sophina says, all right then. Please come with me. I'll show you to your room. Sophina says, this is where you'll be staying. I will leave you here, so please relax until dinner is served. Joshua says, this is quite a nice room. It has a certain atmosphere that you just don't find back in the city. Estelle nods, yeah, it's great, huh? It wasn't that expensive either. Scherezard muses, what to do now? How about we relax until it gets dark? Olivier grins. What a nice idea. Estelle says, I'd be more than happy to do just that, but is it really okay to take it easy? Scherezard nods. Rest when you can. That's part of a bracer's job too. This is our free time, so let's enjoy a meal, take a stroll, or something else. Out on the Valeria shore, Estelle and Joshua go to the pier. Estelle says, wow, what a picturesque view. The entire lake looks like it's glowing. Joshua says, too bad we can't see the royal city on the opposite shore because of the haze. But from here it's easy to tell that this is the biggest lake in the kingdom. Estelle says, this lake is like a fisher's dream come true. I bet it'd be a blast to throw a line in those waters. Joshua asks, then how about it? It might be a nice change of pace for you. Estelle says, yeah, maybe I will. What are you going to do, Joshua? Joshua asks, me? Let's see. There's a book I've been meaning to read, so maybe I'll just sit in that chair and relax. Estelle pouts. How old are you again? Only geezers talk about sitting back and relaxing. Young boys are supposed to get out and move their bodies. Joshua laughs. I'll leave that part to you. Estelle sighs. Sometimes you can be such a drag. Oh well, I should hurry up and decide on a fishing spot. Somewhere around that pier looks like it might be a lucky spot for bites. Maybe. Possibly. If... skills. And per se. Okay. So how do we fish? 'Tis the question. Maybe this bloke's still down here. He can lend us a rod. No, he's not. Of course he's not. Do we have a fishing rod? Don't think so. Items. Weapons, armor, healing, quartz, items, ingredients, books. Joshua asks, aren't you going to fish? That pier looks like a nice spot. Well, yes, I agree it does. Estelle groans. How about you try too, Joshua? You're not so bad yourself, you know. Joshua says, just not as good as you. I think I'll just sit here and watch if all the fishing practice has paid off. I mean, there's nothing interactable. Alright, just a moment. Right. Okay, it's never as easy as what you think it will be. So, there are some fishing rods propped up against the rack. Can I not take one? Oh, Estelle says, yes, this looks good. Definitely the best spot. Ha, now let's see about casting a few lines. Crap, I don't have a fishing pole. I wonder if somebody at the inn has a spare I can borrow. Well, let's ask, shall we? Hello. Estelle says, do you have a fishing pole I could borrow? Sophina says, yes, of course we do. They're right over here, and they're free to use for anybody lodging here. Estelle grins, wow, really? Score! We borrowed a progressive rod. Estelle says, this is a pretty nice rod to be loaning out to everyone. Alright then, I'll put it to good use. Sophina says, please enjoy yourself. Happen to have any bait, perchance? And fishing we go. Estelle says, let's see, from this pier, which would be the best place to drop a line? I'll go to the south where the sun is hitting the water, I think. Estelle says, right around here looks nice. Come on, fishy, fishy, fishies. Now what should I do about bait? Live bait? Estelle says, right, let's sit back and relax and see what we come up with. Estelle says, "Sweet, I got a bite." Now, this is the critical part. How should I bring it up? Wait till it gets tired before reeling it in. Estelle puts on her serious face. All right, let's see what we got. We reeled in some holy boots. Estelle grumbles. Curse you, holy boots. This victory is yours. Estelle says, let's see. What should I do now? Let's continue fishing. I wonder what I should do. I'll keep the same fishing spot. Let's use live bait. Sweet, we got a bite. We'll bring it up by waiting a bit before reeling it in, see if it does anything different. We reeled in a smelt. Estelle says, what a little fishy. Joshua's going to make fun of me if he sees this. Should I just eat it now to hide the evidence? Okay, we're just going to continue fishing for a little while. Got another smelt. We got a liberal cup. Estelle says, this one is just my warm-up. Okay, we won't change. Use a fly this time. Got another smelt. I'll change the fishing spot. We'll use a fly again, but we'll pull it in straight away. And a smelt. We'll continue fishing. Change the fishing spot to the shade. Got a rainbow trout this time. Estelle says, now this is quite a catch. Use live bait. Wait for it to get tired. And another label cup. Got more holy boots. No. Okay, one last one. And another rainbow trout. Estelle says, "Man, it's already starting to get dark. I guess I ended up with a pretty good catch after all. Check this out, Joshua. Look what I caught." Huh? Joshua? What's this? The book 100 Days War seems to have been left on the table. Estelle picked it up. I wonder if Joshua just forgot this. Being so sharp, he can sure miss things sometimes. I guess I'll just have to take it to him myself. Then again, I wonder where he could have taken off to. Where indeed? Don't suppose you've seen him, Scherezard? Scherezard says, "So you can hold your liquor, can't you? I think I've changed my mind about you. Come on now, drink up." Olivier says, "Hold on, Cher. Don't you think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves with this pace? It could interfere with tonight's..." Scherezard asks, "What's she whining about now? Come on and drink, you third-rate musician. Or are you saying that you can't keep up with me?" Olivier says, "Yikes. Estelle, don't just sit there and watch. Do something." Estelle says, "Sorry, bud. Once she gets started, there's no stopping her. But you don't have to worry. Cher never gets plastered." Olivier asks, "Shouldn't she be worried about me?" Well, they're well away. Perhaps he went upstairs. Oh, no, we've invaded someone else's room. Annette says there are a lot of people who come to this inn to fish. Just a little while ago, an old man came here from Beausset and spent all day fishing before going home. I'm thinking about giving it a try myself. And Elka says, "I was able to spend another day relaxing here today. It's important to get away from your daily routine when you're worn out. When I return home, reality is waiting for me, so I better enjoy myself while I can." It doesn't look like he's up here. He's not in this room. That room. And he's not out here neither. Alright. Joshua. Oh. Joshua sighs to himself. Estelle calls, "Hey there, laddie." What are you doing, whittling away the evening in a place like this? Joshua laughs. Not much. How about yourself? Are you done fishing, or are you heading back into battle? Estelle replies, No, I've already had my fill. It sure has been a while since I did, though. Oh, that reminds me. Estelle held out the book she found on the table. You said you were going to read, but you ended up leaving your book on the table. You should be more careful with your stuff. Joshua replies, Oh, that. I actually finished reading it. My eyes were starting to feel a bit tired, so I thought I'd take a walk for a change. Estelle sighs. Liar. Joshua asks, What? Estelle frowns. You're hiding your feelings again, aren't you? I can tell that's what you're doing. Joshua mutters to himself. Estelle continues, and besides, that's not really fair. You'll always find a way to cheer me up when I'm feeling down, and while I may not be as reliable as Dad, I can still give you a shoulder to lean on. Joshua again mumbles to himself. Sorry. Estelle goes on. It's times like these when you should say thank you and not apologize. You may be smart, Joshua, but sometimes you don't seem to know what's most important. Joshua laughs. You're probably right. Thanks, Estelle. Estelle grins. Very good. Now that wasn't too bad, was it? All right. And in return, how about you play me a song on your harmonica? Joshua nods. As you wish. Is the whereabouts of light good for you? Estelle nods. Yep, that's the one I wanted to hear. Estelle blushes. I wonder why it is that when I hear the sound of your harmonica in the evening light like this, it makes me want to cry. Joshua mumbles to himself. So you're still not going to ask? About my past, I mean. Estelle shakes her head. We promised, remember? You were going to tell me when you felt like it, and I wasn't going to ask, right? And considering that 5 years have passed, it doesn't seem like such a big deal anymore. Joshua nods. Yeah, it has been 5 years, hasn't it? How can you just live with me for that long and not have a million questions? That day, your father came home with this beat-up kid. Some random stranger who never says a word about his past. Why'd you take him in like that? Estelle says, well, it seemed like the obvious thing to do. Besides, you're family now, Joshua. Joshua gasps. Estelle continues, and like I said before, I know you pretty well. You love books, you're a weapons geek, and you've got serious knack for just about anything that comes your way. You're kind and fair, but you've also got a way of not letting others inside by using politeness like a shield. Joshua protests. Now wait a minute. Estelle continues, and you're caring and lonely. Of course, I don't know everything about your past. If you want to make comparisons, I don't know a whole lot about Dad's past either. But it doesn't mean that he and I aren't family, right? Being a family for us has more to do with me knowing his personality, his habits, the food he likes. You know, the kinds of things that only I would know firsthand. And you're no different, Joshua. Joshua replies, you make it nearly impossible to argue with you, you know that? It's been like that since the first time we met, and you gave me that flying kick to the gut as I was lying in bed. Wounded, I might add. Estelle gasps. Did I really do that? Joshua nods. Yep, injured and all. More than once. Estelle laughs. I'm sure it was just a bit of childish play. Blame Dad for my lack of social graces. Joshua grins. Yeah, sure, nice excuse. But anyway, Estelle. Estelle asks, what? Joshua says, let's make sure we solve this whole airliner mystery. I don't know if Dad's been captured or anything, but let's resolve this with our own hands. Estelle nods. Sure. That's exactly what I intend to do. Joshua laughs. How about we head back to the inn? I'm sure supper is ready by now. Estelle replies, great idea, I'm starving. We need to eat our fill so we're ready for tonight. And back inside we go. Ooh, no. Estelle says, oh, I almost forgot. Here's your book, Joshua. Joshua replies, oh, right. Estelle held out the book she found on the table. Joshua says, I'm actually done with it. And at this point, it'll just end up being bulk weight. I wonder what I should do with it. Can I read it? Estelle says, it looks like a pretty difficult book, but do you think if I spent some time with it, I'd understand? Joshua replies, I'm sure you'd be fine. There's already a lot of stuff you know in there anyway. So do you want to take a stab at it, Estelle? Estelle nods, sure, I'll give it a shot. We received the 100 Days War. Yeah, not Edward seems to be a lightweight. Olivier says, help that, I'm begging you. I can't take another drink. Estelle says, wow, I think I've just reconsidered my opinion of you, Olivier. Joshua says, it's pretty rare for anyone to still be conscious after a night of wine with Scherezard. Scherezard laughs. Well, didn't the two of you come at a good time? How about having a drink together? You're both good for that, right? Estelle pouts. We're going to eat dinner now, so the answer is no. Scherezard grumbles. Come on, you two. When I say let's drink, we drink. You're going to make me very angry if you don't. Go sit down for a glass with me. Estelle sighs. Oh, great. She's already reached stage 2, rage mode. Joshua grins. Don't worry, Shera. Olivier said he's good for another couple of rounds. How about having him keep you company? Scherezard grumbles. What? So you can still drink more, can you? Olivier screams. Joshua, how could you just give me to her like that? I can't. Estelle asks, don't you feel sorry for the poor guy? Joshua replies, I don't know, should I? Olivier says, you're like a little demon and cute at the same time too. At least the fish are polite here. Estelle shakes her head. I guess he'll be fine. Joshua asks, how about we sit in the corner? I'd hate to bother the two of them. Estelle nods. Right, good idea. Olivier says, please, Sarah, I'm pleading with you and you and the fish. Don't put me in the glass. It's now late at night and Olivier is fully passed out on his bed. Estelle sighs. Oh, he's totally plastered. It looks like even a guy who takes his sweet time for everything couldn't stand up to a drunken sharer. Scherezard says, oh, wow, what a night of drinking. I've been so busy lately I haven't been able to enjoy myself like this for a while. Joshua shakes his head, and you're not even red in the face either from all that alcohol. Are you sure you haven't had some special kind of training, Shara? Scherezard says, it could have been all the bizarre liquors I drank while I was in the troop. You know, like the ones with scorpions and asps in them. I might have built up my resistance that way, but who knows? Joshua says, somehow I don't think that's the case. Estelle asks, by the way, what do you plan on doing with him? He's pretty much useless as he is. Scherezard says, let's just let him sleep. He looks so peaceful now and we wouldn't want to disturb him. There's a very high possibility that we'll have a direct encounter with the Sky Pirates tonight. And getting a civilian wrapped up in the middle of it all wouldn't be a good idea. Estelle says, don't tell me you got Olivier drunk so he wouldn't be able to come along, didn't you? Scherezard replies, well, of course I did, and he'll thank me in the long run too, after his raging hangover anyway. Estelle pouts, and so that whole time... Joshua finishes, you were just toying with him, weren't you? Scherezard says, let's see. It's getting late. Let's hurry and begin our stakeout around the inn. Estelle says, don't skirt around the issue, Shara. Scherezard says, quiet you. For the time being, we're going to circle up to the far pier. Joshua nods. Understood. Estelle says, all right then, let's go. And away we go to the far pier. Whoops, sorry. Did not mean to barge into you this late at night. Estelle says, I don't see anyone. I don't know what kind of business those siblings could have here, but do you think they'll really show up? Joshua replies, there's no guarantee, of course, but if Lloyd's information has any truth to it, my best guess is that they'll be here. Scherezard says, however, if we move around too much, there's the possibility we'll be seen and they'll take off. Since the Sky Pirates are supposed to come from the road, it might be a good idea to watch the area. Estelle nods, right, so where should we watch from? Joshua says, we need a place where we can see the road without being noticed ourselves. A place like that would be ideal. Scherezard says, we don't need to head to the road right now. We should be looking for a place where we can monitor it instead. I mean, I suppose if worst came to worst, we could monitor it from the balcony. Estelle asks, hey, what's that? Kyle says, well, it looks like we're a little early, huh? Josette replies, yeah, it seems that way. You know, if this were the middle of the day, we could have gotten ourselves a bite to eat on the way. Kyle replies, quit talking nonsense. We're outlaws, remember? Now let's hurry up and get moving. Josette says, okay, I'm coming. Or at least that's what I think she said. It disappeared too quick. Estelle says, I should have known it'd be them. Joshua replies, it looks like they're headed for the far pier. I wonder what they intend to do. Scherezard asks, shall we take a look and find out? Let's try to get as close as we can without being noticed. Kyle says, I should have figured they wouldn't be here yet. They always come exactly on time. Josette says, I really hate those guys. They act like they're so superior, and to be honest, they're kind of scary. Kyle says, no doubt about that. They're quite the clandestine bunch. But there's not much we can do about it. This is an order from Don. Scherezard whispers, this seems to be a good place. Estelle agrees, yeah, we can hear every word they're saying too. Josette asks, hey Kyle, don't you think Don's been acting a bit strange recently? It's just not like him, if you ask me. You know, the whole hijacking of airliners thing. While I admit it was lucrative, now we've got the army clamping down on us full scale. Not to mention those annoying braces are now involved. And he's gone and taken hostages and demanded a ransom in return. No matter how I think about it, it seems like Don has gone way overboard this time. Kyle says, in the end, you'll always be just a girl. Deep down, you're just not cut out to run with the bad crowd. Josette exclaims, excuse me? Kyle grins. Okay, maybe not the best wording, but I meant it as a compliment. If things are getting too tough for you, you're always welcome to try salvaging life back home. It shouldn't be too hard to get by as long as you don't set your sights too high. Although admittedly, it is a bit colder than the Belle. Josette asks, do you think you can just treat me like a kid and I'm not going to get angry? I'd like to see you get by without me, what with your crap cooking and all, not to mention the laundry. Do you really want to go back to burnt toast and turning your underwear inside out? Kyle shakes his head. Okay, I see your point. But I really am sick of toast, burnt or otherwise. But anyway, think about what I said before it gets too late to back out. Now, getting back to what you said earlier, I do have to agree that Don has been acting pretty weird. Does he expect us to just keep fishing for ransom? We should take what we can get. And I'd like to believe that Don is smart enough to see that. Josette asks, don't you think he started acting strange about the time that guy showed up? That's the only thing I can think of as to why he started acting like this. Kyle nods. Yeah, he was the one who introduced us to those other guys too. He might have even gotten Don to buy into his ideas. Estelle whispers, who is that guy and he? Scherezard whispers back, it's certainly a good question. Joshua whispers, huh? What's that over there? Estelle whispers, what's what? Joshua whispers, it looks like whoever it was they were waiting for finally showed up. Oh, Shinra rejects. Soldier 5th class, perhaps? Kyle says, it looks like you made it. On time as usual, huh? Josette grumbles, you could have come a little early for a change, or even late. Definitely not my type, that's for sure. Black-clad soldier says, say what you will, but we're trained to be punctual. Now, if that displeases you, then let me offer my sincerest apology. Josette says, relax, I was just being sarcastic. Then whispers to herself, now I know you guys are definitely not the type I want to be around. Kyle says, enough already, we don't have time for that. Now, how about we get down to business? Have there been any other developments since last time? Black-clad soldier replies, yes. In fact, Her Majesty has finally made a move. She intends to contribute to the ransom from her own assets. Kyle asks, seriously? We're going to get paid out of the Queen's own pocket? I guess we're pretty close to getting the money then, right? Josette asks, how about the Royal Army? Is there any indication that they've figured out where our hideout is? The black-clad soldier replies, not yet, but it's only a matter of time until they do. We've received reports that members of the Bracers Guild are on the move as well. At any rate, on the morning of the payoff, you'll need to leave your hideout behind. Kyle nods. Yep, no problem there. We just happened to run into the temporary shelter by chance. Don shouldn't have any regrets about it either. Estelle whispers, there are way too many suspicious types involved in this. What do you want to do, Shera? Should we just storm in, shoot them all, let Aido sort them out? Scherezard shakes her head. I've a much better idea. Estelle whispers, a better idea? Scherezard whispers back, these two siblings appearing here means the Sky Pirate's airship is parked somewhere nearby. There's not much we could do if they got away again, so how about we try taking that out first? Estelle whispers back, I see, take away their means of escape, right? I'm down for that. How about you, Joshua? Joshua? Joshua whispers, oh, right, take out the airship first, right? Yes, I think that's a good idea too. Estelle whispers, what's wrong? Your face looks really tense all of a sudden. Joshua whispers, it's nothing. Yeah, I'm sure it's just my mind playing tricks on me. Scherezard whispers, we don't have much time. We've got to get out onto the road and start looking for that airship before they finish their meeting. Well, let's away and see what we can find. The party took to the road in search of the location of the airship, and, as luck would have it, Scherezard says, so they're parked in front of the Amberl Tower, huh? This is definitely the perfect place to land since it's off the main road. Estelle asks, isn't the Amberl Tower supposed to be just like the Esmeralda Tower? Joshua nods, yes, it's one of the ancient ruins referred to as the Tetracyclic Tower. So, what do you want to do, Shera? Should we subdue them? Scherezard thinks for a moment. That's one way to go about things, but there's more than double their numbers since the last time we encountered them. Estelle says, don't worry, even with twice as many guys, they're no match for us. So how about we take them all on at once? A man's voice says, I don't know if that's the best way to go about things. Olivier says, sorry to keep you all waiting. Estelle gasps, Olivier? Joshua hisses, keep it down or they're going to hear you. Estelle buttons her lip. Scherezard says, well, isn't this a surprise? I can't believe you're standing here after the state you were in before. Your tolerance is impressive. Olivier says, who do you think you're talking to? Rather than miss a moment of your fair company, I dutifully puked my guts up and dumped a bucket of cold water over my head. Voila, I was good to go. Estelle sighs, I don't know about that. I think I hear your liver screaming somewhere in there. Joshua sighs, that's some serious tenacity. Olivier says, come on, I couldn't let you enjoy all the fun yourselves, right? I just had to come out of the inn when I saw you guys hit the road, so I came running from behind to catch up with you. Scherezard says, I guess I went a little too easy on you. Maybe I should have had you down all that brandy at once. Olivier sighs. You'd have put me to sleep for good if you'd done that, Scherezard. But anyway, fighting the sky pirates here would lack finesse, don't you think? Estelle says, I don't think that's the issue here. Olivier replies, no, I'm serious. Even if you subdued them all and managed to arrest the two siblings, there's still a chance they won't tell you where their hideout is. And they might even use the hostages as leverage to demand their release. Scherezard says, well, there's a risk involved with whatever course of action we take. Or do you have a good plan on how we can avoid taking such a risk? Olivier replies, boy, do I ever. Listen up, everyone. Estelle pouts, okay. But if you blow in my ear, I'm seriously going to punch your lights out. Sky Pirate Aaron says, Kyle, Josette. Sky Pirate Lonnie says, it's good to see you made it back. I didn't think you'd be gone so long. Sky Pirate Dino says, so talks took longer than expected, huh? Kyle replies, yeah, but we're nearing an end with our negotiations. We also managed to get a great deal of information about what's going on with the Royal Army. Sky Pirate Lyle says, so what you're saying is... Josette nods, yep, we'll be getting the ransom money within a few days. We'll finally be one step closer to making our dream a reality. Sky Pirate Roscoe cries, we did it. Sky Pirate Ryan says, sweet. Kyle says, cool it down, guys. It's a little too early to be getting excited yet. For the moment, we need to get back to the hideout and report to Don. Josette cries, all right, everyone, pack up and let's get out of here. Everyone says roger that. Josette reports, the temperature outside is 69.8 degrees with 15% humidity. There is a south-southwest wind blowing at a speed of 12 yards. There are no orbital reactions in the surrounding area. Kyle says, it looks like the army isn't patrolling here. Activate the orbital engine and begin transmitting orbital energy to each section of the airship. Sky Pirate Lonnie says, aye sir, orbital engine activated. Transmission of orbital energy to all sections underway. Sky Pirate Lyle says, orbital floater started. Sky Pirate Ryan says, orbital driver started. Sky Pirate Dino says, stabilizers all green. Kyle says, all right, lift off. Sky Pirate Lonnie says, aye aye sir. Kyle commands, set the drive rate to 40% and maintain cruising speed. However, make sure that we can switch to battle speed at any time. Sky Pirate Lonnie says, aye sir. Josette says, it looks like we'll make it back before morning. Kyle nods, yeah. I'm ready for some serious shut-eye myself, but I've got to report to Don first. Sky Pirate Ryan says, huh? Did you just hear something? Sky Pirate Lyle replies, no, I didn't hear anything. Sky Pirate Ryan says, that's odd. I could have sworn it came from below deck. Maybe it's just a mouse or something. I'll have to clean up the place when I can find some free time. Well, that's a lot of mist, isn't it? Sky Pirate Lyles yawns. Boy, am I tired. Ever since we came here, my night and day have been completely reversed. Sky Pirate Ryan replies, we've just got to tough things out a little longer, and we can say goodbye to this horrible life. With Don as our leader, we can't go wrong. Sky Pirate Lyle asks, but don't you think Don's been acting a little strange lately? I mean, he's kind of scary to talk to these days. Sky Pirate Ryan asks, how about you knock that crap off? If Kyle or Josette heard you talking like that, they'd beat you upside the head. Sky Pirate Lyle says, but it's just that... Sky Pirate Ryan says, I'm sure you're just tired from lack of sleep. Let's hurry and finish up here and get some rest. A girl's voice says, you're welcome to take a rest now if you'd like. Sky Pirate Ryan cries out, ah! Sky Pirate Lyle says, you're those... Estelle grins, you're too late. Okay, we've got Sky Pirates, who are ever so slightly weak to all elements. They have 515 HP, and they carry poison. And fire gems! Yay! They are a constituent member of the Capio household, swings a dagger with a poison-laced blade. So we will art you, and art you. And art you, and art you, just like that. Finish you off like that. we got 24 EXP. Except for not Lyle, I've got Lyle on the brain. Olivier, we got 12. And we got a poison as well. Olivier says, "Ooh, it looks like we were able to get in here without any trouble." Scherezard says, "I'm amazed that this little plan actually worked. I guess we all have you to thank this time." Estelle pouts, "But seriously, I was getting pretty nervous. I wasn't sure what we were going to do if we got caught stowing away." Joshua says, "Well, even if we were discovered, we'd just have to take a trot to the airship. And we would have had an advantage fighting against this lot in those tight quarters. Superior numbers mean nothing without space to maneuver in." Olivier, "So you thought that far ahead, taking all of these factors into account, huh?" Olivier grins. "Not in a million years. Are you kidding? I simply thought it would be fun to infiltrate an enemy base." Estelle sighs. "I think we would have been better off if you said nothing at all." Scherezard says, "Give the poor guy a break. At least we were able to get in here without incident. Anyway, this looks like somewhere near the Nebel Valley." Estelle asks, "The Nebel Valley? Like the one on the border of Beausset and Relent?" "Well, that explains why it's so misty outside." Joshua says, "And this is definitely terrain covered with extreme differences in height, which prevent the landing of any large aircraft." "It looks like your guess was right, Shera." Scherezard says, "Yeah, well, it didn't seem to help us much in getting in here. But anyhow, we don't have time to be hanging around here. We'll need to subdue the sky pirates and ensure the safety of the hostages being held captive. And of course your father, Cassius, too." Estelle nods. "Right." Joshua nods. "Understood." Right. Well, we will leave the grand rescue for our next episode, as I'm sure it will be quite a bit longer than it probably should be with me in command. So if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next episode.